Hello, students of New York State. I am so honored that Lunch Lady and the Cyborg Substitute has been nominated for a Charlotte Award. I was emailed a bunch of questions, so I'm going to read the questions and just get right to some answers here. Why did you choose to write comic books? I've always loved writing comics and illustrating comics ever since I was a kid. And when I was developing the Lunch Lady story, I tried it out as a picture book, I tried it out as a chapter book, but it was meant to be a comic. Why do I start the Lunch Lady books with a short story? Well, kind of like when you go see an action movie and there's an explosive action sequence or a car chase or an explosion. I wanted the Lunch Lady books to start with those big action-packed moments, like right from the start, before you have the title page. And I wanted to go from that crazy action sequence to everyday life at school. So really contrasting Lunch Lady's life as a crime fighter and Lunch Lady's life as a lunch lady. How did you come up with the idea of Lunch Lady? Was lunch your favorite part of the school day? And that's from Melinda. Well, Melinda, I ran into my old lunch lady as a grown-up, and when she started telling me about her life and her life outside of school, I started thinking about the secret lives of lunch ladies. My favorite part of the day actually was art class. How do you come up with all of the gadgets that Lunch Lady uses? Well, Lunch Lady wants to maintain her secret identity. She doesn't want people to know that she's really a crime fighter. So all of her spy gadgets need to be disguised as items you would find in the cafeteria. Because, if you saw your lunch lady walking down the hall with nunchucks, you'd think that was weird. You'd begin to ask some questions. But if you saw your lunch lady walking down the hall with fish sticks, you wouldn't think twice of it. Why did you decide to have a mystery for the lunch lady? Well, I thought it would be really funny if lunch ladies were really these super powerful crime fighters who knew all, saw all, well, which they do. They do know all and see all, but they would be just solving these crazy mysteries that would happen around school. Have you ever written a different series that wasn't comics? Well, yes, I have a bunch of picture books, and there are 10 of them, and one of them is called Punk Farm, and it has a sequel called Punk Farm on Tour, so sort of like a series. And I'm also developing a chapter book series called Platypus Police Squad. How did you choose the bad guys for the books? Well, I try to think of the people that are in children's lives, the pinnacles of childhood, be it the visiting author or the bus driver or, places like summer camp, and I try to flip those ideas on their head. Do you have donut ray goggles that you can see through anything? I do not have donut ray goggles, but that's actually a pretty good idea. Let me just write that one down. Donut ray goggles. Okay. Why were the Flippy Bunnies already alive, or were they magic stuffed animals? Well, in the basement of the author's mansion, there were these boxes and boxes of these dolls, and they were actually like robotic animatronic things. So they were actually kind of like cyborgs. Did your lunch lady from school ever do anything related to the lunch lady in your books? Well, my lunch lady did make pizza burgers, which is a very unique and interesting food item. What made you think of the song at the end of the summer camp shakedown? I liked it. It was very funny. Well, I create all of these background characters in the world of Lunch Lady, and sometimes the background characters become really important later on, and sometimes they just stay in the background. And Evan McFunky is sort of like the Justin Bieber of the Lunch Lady world. And it was just a silly little pop song I made for him. Why did you choose Scott as the lake monster? It was a huge surprise. He was the one I least expected. Well, that is why I chose Scott to be the swamp monster, because it was the least that you expected. I love your books. They're awesome. Do you have fun writing your books? And that's from Connor. Connor, I have so much fun writing my books. I have a blast. Because writing really is using your imagination on paper. And I'm so glad to hear that you guys are enjoying reading my books, and especially grateful that Lunch Lady and the Cyborg Substitute has been nominated for a Charlotte Award in New York State. Thanks so much, happy reading, and I will see you guys soon.